Yo dogs, welcome to another episode of Tea Time with Teeeej. But it's actually an oat milk latte from Iksu Arpoke. If you don't know who Iksu Arpoke is, they're the cutest little Japanese coffee window that's about a block away from us. Today's a beautiful day. We're gonna embrace it. Yeah, that's it. Okay, our dog Theo, he asked actually a really good question. He's how do you choose the brands that I work with in the shop? And for me, it's really like if a brand catches my attention, and then there's also like depending on how they reach out to me. There's no shortage of brands that reach out to the shop daily to ask us to carry them. And you know, there was a time when I thought that, I guess I was just comparing the shop to other stores sort of in our realm, and I was like, I need to have a bigger brand list. I need to have this brand and this brand. If those guys have this brand, I need to have it. And it's like, I felt like I was diluting the brands that I had by trying to bring in every brand under the sun. And I really scaled that back, and it was like, I focused on brands for people I like is a huge one. People that are willing to work with us is a really big one. And just people that make stuff that I like. Ultimately it's my store and I bring in stuff for you, but it's like, there was a time when I remember I was in Pennsylvania. I've kind of told this story before, and I was riding my bike to Brooklyn, and I was in the mountains-ish kind of roads, and there was this like point when I was just like, there's like one thing I like in the shop, or there's like one brand that I like in the shop, and the rest of it is just stuff that I would never wear. And that was sort of the moment when I switched over to what we do now. It's like 6 years ago now, and I want to carry brands that have a certain aesthetic that is like motorcycle appropriate, but not motorcycle specific, but it's fair wage produced and dope and look rad, but can still, you know, I can get on my bike at any time and not really feel like I need to go home and change into something different. But it really is like a motorcycle appropriate feel is kind of how I bring in a lot of this stuff. And then, yeah, just stuff that I think is dope. Like, you know, a brand like Teeeej came in because they make those original motorcycle jerseys, and I've been on a mission to find one of those, and it just made sense that Teeeej would be in here considering I like what Teeeej's done since 1920. There's Ironheart. If you guys like Ironheart, you can thank me for keeping it alive. Giles, you remember when I gave you the Heimlich maneuver and saved your life, so I feel like we are the reason that this brand still exists, or I should say I'm going to take the credit for I am the reason it still exists. Eat Dust, I love those dudes. Like, they will forever be in the shop. As long as we're around, they're just such rad dudes. They are like cut from the same cloth. I love those guys. And then there's like the Fine Creek dudes, like they reached out to me and I was in Japan and met them. And unfortunately, I just couldn't bring it in at the time. But as I started focusing more on other things, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna bring in that brand. And then there's a brand like Y2, like those guys just jumped out at me and they were completely willing to work with us, which is incredible. And same with the brand like Wesco. They were just completely willing to make us like 5 boots, you know, where we used to work with another boot company and we were like one of the only retailers, and we were like, let's do something. Let's do this boot in this color. And they were like, oh, well, you have to do 1,500 pairs. And I was like, dude, like, I don't even have the storage space for 1,500 pairs. And it just, the smaller brands that are willing to work with a small store like me, like, that just goes miles and miles and miles with me. I don't know how to say that. I don't know. That's actually a tough question to answer. Oh man, I'm not good at this. Let's do this again. If you got any questions at all, feel free to ask me. Shoot me a DM, follow us on the Instagram if you just kind of stumbled upon this. Tomorrow we actually have a boot being released with Wesco. We're gonna do an IG Live with them at 10 a.m. Pacific time. Feel free to check it out. If you got any questions for that, shoot them at me. I'm really excited about this boot. it actually came about designing something for somebody else, and I was like, oh, I dig this. So I made it myself. Yeah, love y'all. Be safe. Have fun. Bye.